Hi! A lot of people ask me how I use Twitter for business development. I've been doing this for about 10 years and using Twitter myself since 2007. So I do have quite a lot of tips in a lot of different industries. So let's talk about it a little bit. So when you're logged on to Twitter, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing somebody checking in. You're seeing people who, that you like, and they're tweeting things. Sometimes you're seeing things where other people reply, like Chris Rogers replied to this. I'm not following Skip Bolden, but Chris Rogers is, and he replied to it. So, it is what it is, and that's just Twitter. It used to be completely chronological, and it's not anymore. That's why I use lists, but that's another video. So if I'm looking to find things I want to talk about, things that interest my business, or things I can help other people with, then you follow the Gary Vaynerchuk, Scott Stratton method of being present in your feed and answering people's questions that relate to your expertise, and or doing a search and finding people talking about the things you're asking about. So what if somebody said, how do I find topics to write about? Let's see if this gets us anything. So the first thing is going to be top, and the next thing is going to be latest. And so this is the top one, but it's from 2011. That's old, super old. So you need to go to latest. Now you might get links to blogs, like this is a blog. People haven't nobody's said this about, nobody's tweeted about this since 2018. So it might be dead. And here's this other one. How do I find topics to write about? So instead, I'll just change my query to what do I write about, and see what happens. I don't mind being single, but it's just boring. Like, what do I write about it? What fills the void? Good moods, or now I'm getting really general things. Another year, writer's block. What do I write about? Please vote, watch your ads. So that's Media Hood reviews. I do not write as often, but what do I write about? I'm starting to repeat myself. What would I like to write about? Or travels from I don't know, I'm talking nonsense. Anyone's suggestions? This is from December 28th. So I'll click on this. So Orange Book is saying you should do X, Y, and Z, and he's like, I don't even know. And he wrote to them on December 28th, and unfortunately they did not reply to him. So this is an opportunity for me, since Orange Book didn't write them back. So you can write them. I always take out the other person. You send a reply, right? What do I write about? I'm starting to repeat myself. What would I like to write about are my travels and experiences from travels. Hey there, do you have a blog? Even if you don't, you can publish on Medium.com or write in Google Docs. You should definitely write about your passion, which seems to be travel related. And now I could go a step forward, like say he writes me back, which I'm not going to wait for, obviously, because it's a video. Let's say he writes me back. I would go to his Twitter account, okay? I would, I'm going to go to his Twitter account. I want to see what he tweets about, because a lot of times what people tweet about is something that they can also write about. Now, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Harboring resentment is allowing someone who you don't like to live inside your head. These are just quotes, right? Let's see if I can find anything good. characterize people that humility is just pride, skillfully designed. Okay, so everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything. For example, this would be a great opening theme and or thesis for an article to publish on your blog. So now this guy's in Belgrade. I don't know if he's even going to answer me, right? Here's the thing. Here's a tweet. Like, I literally did this because I'm constantly telling my friends, like, what are you even doing? Like, stop making these plugins and then spinning up a new website and a new Twitter account for every single one. That just makes you have to manage even more, right? So when I saw Amy Mason write about this, share her blog post on LinkedIn, it says you probably only need one website. I shared it, and then I added my opinion, which is plugin companies do this all the time. You're fragmenting an already small audience. Now, my friend Marco wrote me plugin companies or plugin developers, and I'm like, yeah, they're always spinning up a site for every plugin, consolidate traffic, one website to rule them all. So he says, well, if it's a different product, maybe it makes sense to have a different dedicated website if you have enough contents and a brand to support it, not exactly the same the article talks about. I said, that may be true, but think of Amazon. They sell all kinds of different products. Same with guitar, fries, electronics, Guitar Center, Home Depot, and any department store. When they trust your brand, they trust your products. Actually, Virgin did this with, they used to have a music label, and then they were like an airplane, like Virgin Records, Virgin Air. It's like everybody thinks it has to be the same. So that's me doing business development. So we don't know what Marco's going to say. He might be like, oh, he is. I'm selling 5 different plugins. All of them have a dedicated page. That's totally different. Page on my company website. One of them has a specific website. I'm using a non-search engine subdomain, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's a good way to go. So now I'm having a conversation with somebody in my target audience that's talking about, I'm sharing an opinion, they're replying to me. I'm sharing an opinion by sharing somebody else's thing, and they're replying to me, right? So you're constantly doing this thing where you're making statements. You should make statements if you're an expert in your field so that people will respond to them, right? So let's go back. And I'll see if I can find something else. What's another thing people always ask me? What hashtag do I use? Let's see what comes up latest. What hashtag did I use to cheer for Annabelle in the tournament event? Thingamajig. What do I get if I use your hashtag? I was recently asked about my hashtag gaze for everyone. What does it mean? Why do I use it? Okay, so that's not anybody asking me. Maybe this is a bad question. How do I use hashtags? How do I use hashtags? Let's see what happens with that. Okay, so how do I use hashtags properly? What's wrong? Am I learning? Is it just free extra characters? So this person asked a question. Brian Whelan asked a question. He tagged a couple people. let's see if they answered. Yes, this person answered, it's free real estate. So that's not really an answer. No, it's not just free characters. So I have a video that shows how to do this, right? And I literally just tweeted about it a couple, maybe an hour or so ago. So the point of hashtags is to be found and discovered, right? I'm going to copy this and I'll be like, okay, hey there, Brian. Hashtags are for discovery and validation. They also help you filter results. I talk about it a bit here. Hashtag, and I'm gonna go social media because that's a better hashtag. Okay, and then reply. So that's the kind of thing I do when I am doing my business development. I spend some time in the home feed, which I recommend most people to do. 5-10 minutes, see what happens. This is only an 11-minute video and I already responded to 3 or 4 people. If you have time for your business, you should spend some time on Twitter interacting with people, or hire somebody to do that for you, because that's where people are searching and that's where they spend time. Okay, thanks very much.